just really like being on camera, but I totally forgot. It's been a long day. Um, New York City, Bill de Blasio, who's going to hold him accountable? Inviting everybody out. And now it's been 3 days, 4 days. He invited them to come out. And this is what very large faction of people in this city support. John McEwen, because he is posting on his, essentially inciting the riot, making sure he's perpetuating this. Ari Jr., I'm not sure exactly. Kenny Parker. These people, they are posting incendiary posts, adding fuel to the fire, trying to get people in this community to attack one another. And they're supporting what happened in Minneapolis. They're supporting what's happening in New York City. It's sick. Police officers now are being, black police officers are being killed. And that's worth it. That's justified. Black business owners, their properties are being destroyed. That's worth it. 3 and 4 days, the National Guard has to come in. So all the people that hate Trump now, National Guard's got to come in. Cuomo hates him, but National Guard is coming in. It's got to save New York City because Bill de Blasio invited everybody to the city. Come on, protesters, we welcome you. What's going to happen to that guy? Who's going to hold him accountable? Who's holding that guy accountable for what he did in his actions? Cuomo. Who's holding him? Like I said last night, who's holding that guy accountable? Raleigh, North Carolina, my friend Andy Walter, we have a friend down there, Eric, I forget his last name, but he is, I may be chief, but he has 8 people on right now. Thank God that in our city we were able to stop everything that happened, that we were able to, before it could escalate and get bad. Individuals that I know, that I named. And remember those names, guys, because if these protests start taking off again and violence erupts in our neighborhoods and with our families, those 3 there in Open Buffalo or Open New York, I can't remember which one it is. It's either Open Buffalo, I think it's both actually. Both of those, they should probably be labeled terrorist organizations at this point if they continue to do what they do. Open Buffalo and Open New York. Remember those names, guys, because I spoke with these guys today. Both of those organizations are funded by George Soros under the guise of propping up people of all ethnicity and color. That's what they're propping it up with. All kinds of lies. I know for a fact that this group is funded by Soros because the guy who I was talking to told me they were funded by Soros. So Soros doesn't want a peaceful resolution to this. He wants violence. And when is that guy going to be held accountable? Everybody thinks it's conspiracy theory and conjecture and nonsense and tinfoil hat. This is a guy, Kenny Parker, part of Open Buffalo. I think it's Open New York, actually. Sorry. But I think both organizations exist. But Open New York is funded by George Soros. He was mocking me for not knowing that. I was trying to, bridge a gap with a lot of the people that I know are very combative, in the black community that I play football with. So I tried to use my page today to reach out to these guys, and they reached out to me actually, which was good, and I knew that they would at least kind of ease everything that they're doing. Davon McEwen, I mean, this guy, I don't know who funds him. Friend of mine, literally posting, this is why these protests and this violence is justified. Go out and do it. Buffalo News says that, in the Buffalo News right now, you're going to run a report about how bad the at some times they are with the violence. It should have been addressed at a different time. Now is not the time. You're going to throw fuel on the fire? Who's going to hold the Buffalo News accountable? You know, when our loved one, when our families, when these riots erupt again, because they keep perpetuating it. It could be over. It could be ended. But these guys, they don't want it over. And proof is the Buffalo News report. Proof is, and I believe Davon McCune, he won't answer the question. I believe he's funded by Soros as well, or a Soros organization, because he's one of these influencers, right? One of these agitators that he's going around and doing what he does, constantly posting stuff. Now, I'm just thankful that people don't generally see his posts thing, but still, he's trying prayers for all of our law enforcement, all of our fellow citizens, our family, our loved ones in all these other cities. Raleigh, North Carolina, 8 officers under our friend Eric. I can't remember his last name. I just mentioned that. But concussions, broken bones, they had everything thrown at them right down in Raleigh, North Carolina. Raleigh's got about 300,000 people, so it's about the same size as Buffalo. They weren't prepared. That sucks. We were prepared here last night, and we all worked together as a community and citizenry to make sure that stopped last night. That's what we were all collectively and collaboratively able to happen. Texas they locked it down. They're like, yeah, it ain't happening, guys. But Raleigh got caught with the pants down, and they weren't ready. So, you know, Galleria Drive, and I told my buddy, I go, contact Eric, let him know what we did. Guys, if you have any friends in law enforcement anywhere around the state, share with them what we did here last night. What we did was we created a communication tree. We had intel that was shared through Facebook that people had seen. Whoever revealed it, we don't know. But they had different gathering points and locations and different attack points that we had heard where they were going. All of them proved true. Every single one, regardless of what polling card says, they all proved true. So we contacted police departments, letting them know where the areas were that they were going to get attacked here locally. So let these other officers and let these other areas know, guys. Let these police departments know what they can do to help, and let you know these communities and these citizens what they can do to help their communities. This helped us here. So now, you know, the police were contacted. They went to the local. They disbanded before the people could gather in a large group. They were aware that it was going to happen, and they didn't even allow them to get there. Southgate Plaza stopped it, thwarted it. I don't think Niagara Falls Outlet, I had heard that target, but I don't think it ended up being. And there's Davon. Yeah, Davon he's mentioned me in a comment right now. Yeah, mention me, Davon. You know, keep inciting the riot at this point. You know, keep adding fuel to the fire. Your cause is not just when you're backing and supporting the killing of our family and our friends. And that's what you're doing. You know damn well that I support ending police corruption and police abuse. Absolutely support that. I told you that I would support that. I reached out to Davon and I said, let's work together. Never responded to me. Never once responded to me. Wanted to shut me up. Oh, he threatened me. Yeah, I threatened you. If you're telling me that you're going to go out and you're going to hurt, I'm against you. I am against you if you are going to go out and you're going to attack our neighborhoods and you're going to endorse that. Absolutely, I'm against you. However, if that's not what you're saying in your post, then I'm not against you. I'm with you, and we will fight with you. Everybody will fight with you. But you don't want that. You don't want a peaceful end to this. You want violence, and there's no reason for it. Because now, innocent people, and he's supporting, he says, he just posted something on his page saying that the business owners, yeah, they were attacked and we didn't have anything to do with it, but we support the protest. Well, guess what, Davon? There's a lot of people that can't afford after 90, 93 days, however many days of being shut down, that they're getting ready to open up. It's not your right. It's not okay to tear up somebody's house or somebody's business and to put them in a position where they now can no longer open up their business and they're terrified. That's not your right to do that. You got an issue, take it up with the police. That's the only people you should be taking it up with. Nobody else. Nobody else is responsible for that. And that goes for anybody else that's on here that is sympathetic to what's going on with the violence. The protest, yes, I support that. The violence, the looting, absolutely not. There's no reason for that. And we will stand against you. We will stand against every single one of you if you're going to continue to do this and go down this path. We will make sure that it doesn't happen in our town. So guys, the police got involved last night, so share that. Also share the thing that the chief of police and the mayor of Niagara Falls did. Make sure you share that those guys sat down with, not even sat down, but stood there and spoke with the protesters. They spoke with them. They were like, what are your concerns? Mention that. Share that, guys, because this is important, valid information to learn from, to how to diffuse these things, how to de-escalate. Some of these protesters, they're paid, and they're paid good money. So they're going to keep doing what they're going to do, and they're going to try to prolong this as long as they can. Like I said, here in Buffalo, when I saw last night in Niagara Falls, 98% of the people, they were peacefully protesting. Give them a ton of credit. Some other cities, the same thing. City of Buffalo, protesting. Like I said yesterday, they were picking up the garbage cans. They were telling people not to smash. They didn't know why people were smashing stuff. They were like, we're peacefully protesting. So you have these agitators that are being paid to go to these big towns. That's George Soros. That's this other big money that's sponsoring Open New York. They are sponsoring Open New York. And they back George Soros fully. Research what that guy has done and what he stands for. So, again, the chief of police, the mayor spoke with everybody. And then tell the officers, stand their ground. Bring whoever in. Niagara Falls was at risk, guys. We all know that. I mean, they had a huge show of force. They must have had every officer that they had. And Lewiston came in, New York State Police came in, but they showed force. They were there. You're like, well, you're not going to mess with us. But again, no New York State troopers. So I don't know if Cuomo gave all the New York State troopers stand down orders or if it's policy that they can't get involved. I don't know, so I can't speak on that. However, New York State troopers were not present anywhere that I was. Nowhere. Erie County sheriffs were. They were absolutely there. They were out in force. They were in a helicopter and they were out patrolling. So, props to Erie County sheriffs as well as every other police department here in our area. But that's what these guys did. They stopped the people from gathering. Tell these other people to tell these departments to get to the locations where they think that this stuff is going to happen and to stop them from getting in. Cheektowaga did it masterfully, guys. Like I said last night, department vehicles there. They had every vehicle they had were blocking access to get into these places. Share that information, guys. People, the community can go out and explore the areas, keep eyes out like South Buffalo did. South Buffalo came together as a community, helping one another board up. They were helping one another board up their places. They were standing together. They had their guns. They were ready. They were like, bring it. Bring it. You want it? Bring it. And, people were disappointed that it didn't happen. And it's a joke, but they were ready. Share that with people, guys. I know that not every community is like South Buffalo, that they're not as close and tightly knit as South Buffalo is or some of the communities around here. But share all that information, guys. It's extremely valuable. This is stuff that can help save lives. This is stuff that can help save businesses. Get this information out. I've shared it with everybody that I know in law enforcement. I know they're trained. I know they know how to handle these situations, but you may be able to tell one person, one piece of information that worked here in our town to save us, that they might go, oh, hey, yeah, we didn't think about that. just, they are the experts. I get that. We don't know better than them, but we learned from our experiences last night of what happened by watching how everything played out. And we protected our town. So Raleigh, North Carolina, not 8 guys in the whole department, 8 guys that serve under our friend Eric are in the hospital. Broken arms, concussions. They're not coming back to work. You know, who knows when they're going to come back to work at this point. So we need all the thoughts and prayers. We need to stay vigilant here in the city because, like I said, there are people, the names that I just named off, those people, they are ready. They are ready to attack us all again in the name of police brutality. So watch out for those people. If you have any other names, share those names with law enforcement so they could keep an eye on those people. That's not acceptable. It's not acceptable at this point to put law enforcement, not all law enforcement. That's what people never understood. I'm always trying to call out the bad eggs because I talk to my friends who are in law enforcement. They're like, we cannot stand the bad eggs in our departments. We hate them. So the people you're attacking at this point, the police departments, they hate the bad eggs just as much as you. So guess what? Attacking them, now you're not doing yourself any favors. What do you think? Everybody's going, oh, you killed us, now all of a sudden we're sympathetic? No, it's not how it's going to work. It's only going to get worse for you. It's only going to get worse for your communities, all of our communities. So, you know, these guys just getting ready to incite everything at this point, and they're continuing to do it. It's absolutely wrong that they are continuing to do what they're doing and posting what they're posting and lighting the fire under their communities and people that they have influence. Now, Davon, you know, he teaches kids, and oh my God, the things that he teaches these kids, you would not believe what he communicates to these kids and how he tells them what is happening and you know, the evil, everything. You could just imagine. I'm not even going to go there, but you could just imagine how he's communicating to people. And he's in a role of influence. So not only, you know, he's a community organizer. Kenny Parker is a community organizer. And, you know, and he's peaceful as far as I know. However, his rhetoric is incendiary. They are ready to go out and do it again. So be vigilant, guys. Watch out. Let's make sure that we use the communication tree with one another again. Let's make sure that we've got all the information, you know, shared with one another, that we're getting it to police departments as soon as possible. If you see any gathering points at all, if Sean Coppola last night was amazing. Sean notified us immediately. Now, Niagara Falls knew it was going to happen from about earlier than 2 o'clock, but they were staged and ready by 2 o'clock. They weren't going to allow themselves to be overwhelmed. It's, you know, it's offensive. It's being offensive that protected everybody last night. So share that information with everybody that you know that's around the country. Try to help our neighbors. Try to help our fellow citizens. But today, let's just be aware. Let's keep watching everything. Let's watch, you know, we know where these people are going to gather, right? They're not going out to rural communities. They're probably not even going to come out to, you know, suburbs anymore. They're tired of that game. There are 12 cars coming down on them and raining down on them. And, you know, one girl on the floor. So I don't know if anybody saw that video, but I don't know what happened with that woman over at Walmart in Cheektowaga, but man, they got her and her friend, it was over, done. So, you know, thwarting these things and nipping them in the bud is the biggest thing, because once these people gather, once it gains the momentum, right? Then all of a sudden, one of these paid protesters that is funded by Soros, guaranteed funded by Soros. Like I said, Kenny Parker confirmed to me today his organization, Open New York, is funded by Soros. Mocked me because he asked me, hey, you want to come out and help with distributing masks? Absolutely. Are you an organizer? I'll come out, and he knows my feelings about Trump. And the post that I put up was about Soros. And he goes, yeah, well, come out and do masks. I don't agree with masks, Kenny, but I won't do that. What else do you have? Well, come out and, you know, distribute leaflets and flyers with us. Okay, great. I'll come and do that. I can do that. Depending on what the leaflet and flyer says, if I agree with it and it's not against what I stand for, then I'll do it. And then he goes, oh, hey, by the way, our organization funded by Soros. So the guy that then he tells me, the guy that you think, and I go, surface, of course it's good. It looks like it's good. The guy's not going to come out and go, oh, hey, unless you're Antifa or whatever. Oh, hey, by the way, I'm giving you this money, but I'm going to have this expectation of you doing this at the end. It's not what he's going to do. He's going to try to look like the good guy to you. And in the back end, he is paying, or whoever is, I don't care who is, but for a fact, Open New York, I'm not going to speak conjecturally. However, Open New York is funded by George Soros. And the people of Open New York, they carry the opinion that it is their right to go into the White Hood, and take it down. And it's not even the White Hood. I'm in Cheektowaga. I have 6, 7, 8 neighbors in my street are black, which is what I told Mayor Byron Brown today. I said, you're crushing the city. The black people that you're saying that you're here for Juneteenth for, they don't want to live there. They don't feel safe there. You have made your city unsafe for even the constituents that you say you want to live there and make it safe. Hey, let's take a ride through the east side. We've all been, it's a war zone. It's home to people though. That's where they have to live, unfortunately. But people don't want to. So it's not even that they're attacking White Hood. They're attacking black police officers. They're attacking black business owners, families. What sense does that make? None. So these are the people that are ready to attack our neighborhoods again. So like I said, let's stay on top of it. Let's keep the communication tree going all through the night. I'll be here on my phone. I'll be working, but I'll be by the phone. So if anybody has anything, I'll share it. I won't be able to drive around like I did last night. I haven't heard anything as far as a major protest that is happening this evening, but I will have the phone and I will share everything. Guys, any information you have, share it with your friends all across the country. Like I said, what we did last night was amazing, and what law enforcement did was amazing. They stopped it. What's happening in New York City is a travesty, and Bill de Blasio is responsible for it. They're like, how do you even, like, that guy should be dragged out of office and thrown in a prison cell right now. How does he not get thrown in a prison cell? How does Cuomo not get dragged out and thrown in a prison cell? They both invited these protesters. Why are we calling them protesters? They're looters. They're rioters. You knew what they were going to be doing. You knew what they did. You knew what they were doing. You saw what was happening in Minneapolis and the other cities. And you said, come on in. Come on in. We support you. You put every single person in our cities in this state at risk. But they're not going to answer for it. And ask yourself, why? How is it even fathomable or conceivable that somebody would invite somebody like that to our towns and our cities and our neighborhoods to attack us knowingly and not be held accountable for it? So that's it, guys. Let's just keep this communication tree. I'm sorry to do another one. I felt it necessary because, like I said, I wanted to talk about Raleigh, what happened down in Raleigh, and then I just found out from my friend, oh God, who was it? It was Laura. Laura sent me the information about New York City and Trump sending in the National Guard. Everybody in New York City hates Trump, but they're gonna love him now, right? But then he's gonna be the asshole because he probably sent too many National Guardsmen in, right? Something's gonna be, he did the wrong thing, or he didn't do it soon enough. You didn't want it. You invited these people in. You want me to deal with the shitstorm that you started, and then you want to blame me for it. And ask yourselves why they get to do that. Ask yourselves why the media gets to do that. Ask yourselves why we allow them to get away with that. So stay vigilant, guys. Like I said, I'll be on. I'll charge the phone tonight. If there is anything, let me know. And have a good night. Be safe, guys. I'll talk to you later.